Hi, in this video we're going to look at the Silver Cross Motion 2 All Size 360 car seat, and we're going to convert it from harness mode, as you see here, into high back booster mode. Now if you have the previous version of Motion, so the Motion All Size 360, the only difference is that it doesn't have the sprung harness system or the potty training proof liner, but you can still follow this video because the process is very similar, and I'll let you know where it differs throughout the conversion from harness to booster mode. So to get started when converting this seat, loosen off your harness as much as you can, and if you have the potty training proof liner in place, remove this now. This is nice and easy to get out. You just pop your buckle through and the harness pad. If you have these side panels popped, unpop them and the liner comes straight out. Now you can't use the liner in high back booster mode, so at this point that liner now has to be out of the seat. The next part to do is the buckle, so you can remove the padding for the buckle like so, and then take your buckle, and there's the slot in the fabric where the buckle comes through. Just pop your buckle back through there. There is a little compartment for that to sit in, which we'll have a look at in more detail shortly. With your hip padding, you can remove this as well. So again, this just very easily pops off. And now we've come to our harness pads. Now this is where it does differ a little bit between Motion All Size 360 and Motion 2. So lift up the head padding here. Now, if you're looking at the Motion 2 and you have this sprung system, so where the harness stays up, the first thing you're going to do is open up the pads like so, and you're going to twist them around so they actually come off the seat, and you'll see that there is a little bit here which is where those pads connect. So you're twisting round and it'll pop off the seat. Okay, so if you've got Motion 2, that's what you need to do. If you're on the previous version of the Motion All Size, this is where you're going from. So you're opening up your pads, and then you'll have this bracket here, and you're just taking your harness pad off that bracket. So just threading that off nice and easily. Now if you do have a Motion 1, you don't actually have to do this step if you don't want to. So if you've got a Motion 1, you can leave these pads in place. So if you're doing maybe just a temporary conversion, for example, then you can leave those pads in place on Motion 1 and just sort of hang them down the back of the seat fabric, still connected to the metal bracket and the webbing. If you're on Motion 2 though, it does need to come fully off. Okay, now open up this back panel like so. And you'll see here that we haven't really got much of a gap right now. So take the headrest adjustment, which is the grey lever here, and lift that headrest up a good couple of notches, and you'll see that it opens up this cavity here in the seat. Now again, what you can do, Motion 1 or 2, now you can take this, if you've left your pads on for Motion 1, you may find that you don't need to do this, but if you pop your harness buckles in here, like so, you'll see that they can just sit nicely. If you are on Motion 1 and you're not removing the harness pads, you can drop your buckle and just tuck it right down the bottom. There is a little compartment that you can put that in, like a little cut out in the seat hardware there. So poke that in like so. Now, when it comes to storing everything, so we don't want everything to get lost because you'll never find it again. The best way I found to store these is with your pads here, you can pop these in this little cavity here. Now this little cavity here, if you can see that, is for the instruction manual. So if you haven't got your manual in there, you can pop them in there. And then what I tend to do with the Motion 2 is I will then put these bits through here. Now don't worry about putting them in the back of the seat. You're not going to get anything jammed or wedged or stuck or lost, never to be seen again, because in the back of the Motion, the back panel here has a big opening, so it will just fall out the back if it wasn't secure. But it is quite a secure place, and this doesn't affect sort of the safety of the seat or anything, because it is literally just storing the harness pads. So this doesn't sort of impact how the adult seatbelt fits or anything like that. So you can just poke all that in, just make sure it sits nice and neatly. You don't want anything poking out. And you can kind of squish that down a little bit, and then the same for this as well. So I'm just getting in the way a little bit of the video, I'm afraid, because it's a little bit easier to do. There we go. Okay, so you can see now that those pads are all tucked away in the back of the seat there. This keeps the harness nice and flat and out the way as well. We've got our hip pads in here. So re-popper your fabrics. Oh, I did say I'd show you the buckle compartment actually, so let's do that. Let's just lift that forward. I'm just going to take the phone. Whoops. Okay, so you can see in here, this is the way your buckle sits. So that's very flat. Your child won't feel that through the fabrics or anything. So let's re-pop this, pop this back down. With this part here, you can roll this up and you can tuck that away if you want to, or you can leave it hanging down, it really makes no difference. And then set the headrest to what best suits your child. So when your child's sat in the seat, pop 2 fingers at the bottom of the headrest and 2 fingers then rested on top of their shoulder, and that's the ideal height for your headrest. So if you pop that into whatever position that they need, your adult seatbelt threads through the guide up here and then through your lap belt guides here, like so. And that is how you convert the Motion All Size 360 car seat and the Motion 2 All Size 360 car seat from harness into high back booster mode. I hope that was helpful.